focusing on what we have to do within the running back group. And D-Mac does a great job. The running backs coach, he does a great job with everything. So the focus there right now is just in details.
It's been about 7 years since Chip Kelly was in the NFL. Were you curious what this playbook was going to look like, and what does it look like?
Yeah, no, I was a little curious, but if you watch ball, you know what he did in college. You know, I stayed relatively close, had a close eye on him, you know, when he was at UCLA and then this past year at Ohio State. So, you know, it's nice to see everything that he can do and put guys in positions to win. And I've learned that from experience as well.
Year 11, when you hear that out loud, what does it mean to you? What comes to mind?
Yeah, my journey, I guess, and you know, just trying to be a shedding light for a lot of different players out there that, you know, when their backs against the wall and they have unforeseen circumstances that, you know, can transpire in so many different ways that, you know, I look at it as an opportunity for them to try to make the most out of it and never look back. That's something that I've been able to do, being undrafted back in 2015, and now I'm here still running full speed, being physical, making plays.
Talk about being that shedding light. When you talk about being a shedding light, the running back room, obviously you're the veteran, very young room. What's the biggest piece of advice that you give to those guys each and every day to get better?
Yeah, just focus on the little things. Little things will take care of itself. You know, it's one of those things where the more you can do in this league, the longer you can play. And with those little things, you know, that adds up over time. And so just trying to get the message to the young guys, and they've all accepted it, especially Deuce. You know, he's coming in and he's doing everything we ask him. And, you know, I've been teaching him little nuggets here and there to help his game, and it's been good to see.
From working with Ashton Jeanty and just knowing what he can contribute, what you can contribute, what makes you think that you two can make for a serious dynamic duo?
Yeah, I mean, we're almost like one and the same, right? You know, he has a physical presence to him, so do I, and we're both in the pass game. We try to be as effective as we possibly can, and so I think, you know, with us two in the backfield together and being able to utilize our abilities, I think that it's going to be a great showing. And then also with the other backs, you know, you got Zamir, who's coming in, and he's hungry. Sincere, you know, he had a stellar year and then he got injured, and now he's back and he's going. And even Dylan and both Chris as well. So a lot of guys in the room, they have experience, and that's something that's nice. We're all just trying to help Jeanty out at the same time.
You mentioned that you were kind of a connoisseur of football and college football. Obviously, I'm sure Ashton Jeanty caught your eye.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But what did you, as a running back, you know, did you become kind of a fan of watching him?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, when you have a guy that's a generational talent like Jeanty, right? He comes in and he's doing unbelievable things in the college level and breaking records and close to, you know, I'm drawing this blank.
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders, there you go. Coming close to his record and scoring touchdowns and being physical and doing everything he can, you can see why he's a first-round draft pick. And so that just hypes me up even more to try to bring my presence and trying to help him. And he's doing a great job. And I've been a fan of him since, you know, he started getting on the scene. And you know, we both share the same marketing agency, which is pretty cool. So I got to meet him for the first time out in New Orleans when we got together. So I had to sit down with him and we were just chopping it up. And you know, he gave me praise and I was giving him praise. So it worked out. It worked out for the best. So.
Speaking of scoring touchdowns, you've always been a touchdown magnet. What is the key to success in the red zone?
Being physical. You know, it starts with the line of scrimmage, and you know, you have to understand where the ball's supposed to fit. You know, everybody thinks that you could just go in there and just, you know, push the pile. You can. I mean, obviously the tush push is working well, right? But you know, you have to be able to read plays and read what the defenders are doing and get them out of position and be able to score. And that's something that I like to bring.
Raheem, you mentioned that he could be a generational talent. Ashton, what is it about him as a running back that makes you believe that?
I mean, if you look at, you know, his stature, everything that he does, he's not that big in regards to being tall, but he has a little more. He's a little wider, and he can put himself in position to maneuver, you know, runs and slip out of things. I was watching his tape when he was at Boise State, and it was just, you could just tell the dynamic of him reading and breaking tackles. I think that was the biggest thing that impressed me the most, was that he was able to shed tackles and take it for another 60 yards. You know, that's something that's not necessarily going on out there in the world right now, and for him to be able to do that, it just shows you the type of generational talent that he has, and especially out in the pass game too. You know, we've been out here. I mean, just today he caught a couple balls, and you know, you look at it and you're like, man, you know, he's gonna be special.
2 more guys.
What are your thoughts on the offensive line?
Offensive line is moving. You know, there's a lot of veteran guys. I know we brought in Kappa. Kappa's been a good fit. Dylan's been excellent. I mean, obviously Colton, you know, he's played in the league for quite some time. So to be able to, and JPJ, you know, setting the standard. So to be able to have those guys up front, man, is definitely paramount in trying to build this thing and trying to make it go. Everything starts with the line of scrimmage, and if you have enough guys that are bought in and you know, they're willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good, it just shows you how this offense can portray and project into the next level.
What have you seen from the defensive side of the ball? Those guys that are putting in the work just as you guys are.
Yeah, no, the defense, man, they're doing an unbelievable job. You know, we had a stat today throughout this entire process from OTAs onto minicamp where there was 280 something plays. And within those 280 something plays, there was 2,783 punch attempts, which shows you that they're really trying to get the ball out. And we had one that was counted as I don't like to say the F word. I'm not an F word guy, so I want y'all to understand who I am. I hate saying that word. So we put the ball on the ground, and it was just that one time. So that's the big emphasis for the defense. And I've been around, you know, even with the Niners, and it was the same thing. You know, Pete came over that Legion of Boom era. He's trying to mimic that over here, and you could tell a lot of the guys bought into that.
All right, thanks for being here.
Appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
Thank you.